another thing. What do you think about the possibility of sucking a spirit up in a vacuum cleaner, putting him in a box, and then blowing him up? What do you think about that concept?
Number one, I don't think that that's even remotely possible. And two, if it were, why would you do it? Do you not believe in karma? Or, you know, who are you to play God to go in and think that you're going to just, you know, go ghost busting on their ass? I mean, it's just...
Yeah, that's what I mean, but it's like, really? Like, come on, people, and why? I mean,
yeah.
Your spirit done that way, sucked up in a Dyson. At least they use a Dyson, you know what I'm saying? At least they use the Dyson. But still, it's like, oh, I'm not watching this. Oh, I can't even watch this. Not even for funny, I can't do it because it was killing me. But anyway, we won't go any further with that. I wanted to, you said you read tarot cards and astrology, and the numerology thing is what I'm so intrigued by. I had my birthday done, and I don't know if this is true or not, but supposedly, now I'm not buying it, okay, because I've been told such different things my whole life, but I'm supposedly an angel on earth, sent here to help children find peace and healing. Okay, I've been told the opposite. I've been told I got horns, so that I'm a little shit. So I don't know if that's okay or how to work that or whatever. How does numerology work? How does all that? How does it figure out how?
Well, it depends on what you're trying to look at. You can go about it different ways. You can calculate your birth date. You can calculate your name. And I'm not saying that it's not possible, but I haven't seen any numerology that would indicate somebody's an angel or otherwise.
Thank you.
The ones, I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm not sure whether or not there is any anywhere, but there haven't been any in any of the books that I have. The books that I have are very basic and just basically tell you what your life path is, what you're here to do, what careers are best for you. It can also give you a good idea of what the year is going to bring for you, you know, what you're supposed to be doing and things like that. But as far as telling you you're an angel or something else, I haven't heard of that. So that's a new one to me.
Well, I mean, I was kind of like, that's not what my family told me. I mean, I started out real sweet up until about a certain age, and then the horns started showing. So I didn't know. And you met my cousin Carrie. She will definitely tell you that I gave my mom a run for her money for a few years in my teenage time. So the angel thing, they would not buy either. But so when, like, say I would give you, just for example, say if I gave you my name, how would you calculate? I mean, what is that? I know it's a long process, but
yeah, there's like a chart.
There's numbers that go with S and numbers that go with E and
right.
Okay, all right. Well, I also asked why I always see 9/11, and it doesn't matter if it's the morning or the evening. Sometimes both, but it's every single day. I don't know. 9/11. And I'm like, dude, I always look up and go, I'm not going to forget that day because I remember watching it on TV and looking at my son going, wow, I had no idea there was that much hate in this world. I'm so sorry. You know what I mean? Because I had no idea. Right. And it just, that day I've never, ever forgotten that whole morning. And step by step of it every single second, and I can't forget it. And I don't know why. It's like trying to remind me. It's like I didn't have anybody that I knew that passed away there. No friends, no nothing. And so I don't know the connection has to do with actual 9/11.
Well, here's the thing. it could go a couple of different ways, okay? 9/11 could represent to you a reminder that there is a lot of atrocities going on around the world, and they don't want you to forget this because you're supposed to be a helpful light in this world. We're all supposed to have some kind of path and purpose. And if we're not doing it, we get constant reminders of, hey, you know, you need to be doing this. If you're not doing it, get on it and start doing it. The other thing is, if you were to take 9 plus 1 plus 1, it comes out to 11, right?
Right.
And you've heard of the phenomena of 11:11?
I've somewhat.
Okay. For years, I've always seen 11:11 on the clock.
Okay.
Or I'll see it calculating in, you know, a sales ticket or something, 11:11. But 11:11 is a spiritual awakening. So it's basically spirit guides and angels telling you, hey, you're starting to wake up now. Great job. Keep waking up. Keep getting on track. Let's get on this. And it'll keep reoccurring until you actually acknowledge it and start working on it. So, you see how it could go either way there. Either way, they're trying to get your attention and say, you know, you need to get on your path and start doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Huh. Interesting. That is interesting, because, I mean, I swear, I look up and go, I'm not going to forget. Seriously, that day, it was something, you know, I'm going to go ahead and admit it. I have a crush on Diane Sawyer. I have since I was, you know, a teenager. She's a beautiful lady. I love the way she does the news. So I'm sitting there feeding my son, and he's not even 2 months old yet, right? And I'm watching her and Charlie Gibson, and I see the plane in the background, and I knew it wasn't an accident right away. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. And then when they broke away and started talking about it, it just, my mom had protected me from so much. It was all about love and light and, you know, peace with her. And I didn't know that there was hate like that existed. And it just completely changed my view on everything. And I'm like, what the hell is really going on? And unfortunately, it kind of took my rose-colored glasses off. And now all I see is nothing but ugly going on. And it's really scary. My grandmother used to say, it's revelation, it's revelation, it's revelation. What do you think about what all these things that are happening? What are your thoughts and feelings about all this hate with the gay marriage and you know, stuff like that? Because that's a big thing for me, you know, because I'm married to a woman, and we haven't been looked at as equals ever. And people are just coming out of the closet with just all this hate and ugliness, and it's just like, my gosh, where is this all coming from? And what is going on? Because it's just widespread, all the cop shootings and protests and the people that got killed in the church, you know, things are going crazy. What do you think's going on? Well, it can't be Mercury retrograde.
No, that's already done and over with. We're out of the shadow period. I thought about that too today because I had 3 freaking light bulbs burn out in the house today, and I was like, "What? Are you serious?" And I looked at the calendar. I'm like, "Yeah, it's not Mercury retrograde, so I guess my energy must be shorting out the light bulbs. Otherwise, I have no idea." But as far as all the hatred, and I hate to say it, but it's always been around. It's just that the media is making everyone more aware than what they possibly were before. You know, I try to be really tolerant with everybody's belief systems. You know, I know everybody has their different things that they believe. Some people are in different religions. Some people are atheists. You know, you have all your different sections. Unfortunately, there are certain religions, and I'm not going to name them off, but there are some that are not tolerant of people being different than what they think that they should be. And sadly, there are many that use things like the Bible against people, which is not something that was supposed to have been done, but they do it anyway. They use it to suit their own purpose. You know, it's like, okay, well, I'm living this part of the Bible, but with this part, you know, I'm being forgiven. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do what I want because I'm gonna get forgiven. But
their sins are okay than someone else's sins.
Right. My sins aren't as bad as your sins, that sort of thing. It's just a build-up over, you know, for as far back as it goes. You know, there's always been catastrophes with weather. There's always been catastrophes with humans losing lives, murders, you know, bombs, everything else. It's always happened. I mean, look, if you go back into our history, you know, look what happened to the Jews.
No, yeah. Ugh.
You see what I'm saying? It's always been around. It's just now there's this huge ordeal. It's a huge production. It's like, holy crap, we're putting everything under a microscope now. Everything is suddenly offensive.
Oh, yeah.
It's
like, holy crap.
You know?
I mean, stuff that I've seen my whole life has been offensive. I haven't been, you know, protesting about it or, you know, raising all kinds of pain about it. I mean, and I haven't, you know, there's not been social media all my life either. I mean, hell, we didn't even have cell phones when I was younger. You know, we actually played outside and it ain't normal, you know.
See my point? That's where my point was going is before all we had was just the news. Right. Now we have the news and we have social media, so everything spreads like wildfire. So now all of a sudden we see everything that's going on, whereas before we didn't. We only saw clips of certain things, and that was all.
That's kind of what I told my grandmother. Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes,
social media.
Why would you want to bring why do you want to bring a baby into this hateful world? And I said, what do you mean, Nana? It's not any different than it was, you know, back in the Wild West. It's just more known because there's actual TV people there reporting on it, you know?
Yep.
And now there's a bigger population, so it's going to happen more often, you know, because people just don't all get along. That's just how it is. And people are crazy and things happen. But,
so
you know,
it's not any more hateful now than it was then. It's the same. It's just more magnified because it's being blown up with media and the social media. So we can just see it more than we could before. So it really hasn't changed. But, I mean, honestly, because I'm an empath, and I know that you've probably seen my posts on Facebook, I tend to unfollow every time I see people posting up a bunch of negative crap or posting, you know, atrocities that are happening to these animals and people.
Oh, I can't do that either. Yeah.
I unfollow it. I don't unfriend them because everybody has a right to their own opinion and their thoughts and how they feel about things. So I just unfollow their posts. That way I don't see any of it. And I got to tell you, my timeline, or not my timeline, but my news feed is a lot more peaceful now.
Yeah, I had to do that too. And even with a really close friend of mine, and I was like, girl, you cannot keep putting those pictures of those babies that are hurt like that, those puppies. I can't take it. You know, it really burns me up so bad inside, and it hurts me to the core that I can't look at it. And I found myself listening to more music lately than I have been watching TV because I get upset. I actually am moved to tears a lot because of the things that are going on, and it just really bothers me. And I can feel all that, and I can't take it. So I don't watch a whole lot of TV. If I do, I TiVo it, and I go through the commercials and the news clips that they got in between it, and I watch what I want to watch, and that's what I do. I can't. I can't do news. News is something that I just try and stay away from. Half of it's BS. The other half of it is, you know, I already know these things are going on. I don't need
the bulletin to see it, so I
Right.
avoid it.